Hello, Kaz Jim here, and this is episode 30 of this Let's Play. That's right, so I've reached 30 episodes. I missed the 25 episode mark, and we're actually starting this episode in a bit of a different spot. So where are we exactly? We are actually at Qgosh's base, and we're in his new little building here for deep resonance power production. I think it's interesting that I went with that. It's not a mod I'm too familiar with personally, but now I'm pretty familiar with it because he asked me, he's like, hey Kaz, I like the stuff you're doing at your base. Do you think you can do something for setting up a method of automation using open computers? And I said, sure, yeah, let me see what I can do. So I brought over just kind of a little kit. I put together a little kind of roadside kit for doing computer stuff. And I got to work, and I spent several hours just finding out the ins and outs and how this works. And I actually have a system that works pretty well. It's not fully implemented yet. Well, my part is, but he just needs to add a couple blocks of his own, for which he's actually out and about trying to gather stuff for right now. So essentially, what this program does is it just continually sends out a check to these 5 adapters, if you include that one down there, and it looks for, hey, am I full? If I am full in this tank that's below it, that is, if I am full, turn on the laser. At which point it'll turn on a laser of some sort. There's a couple other conditionals, things like, looking at the purity, looking at the quality, things like that. But we don't need them for this setup because he's making heavy use of the valves. So basically what my program does is it turns on a light whenever the laser is active, and then once the thing reaches its purity and it starts getting pulled out through the valve, or the strength or the quality, efficiency, all that stuff, it immediately detects, hey, I'm short on liquid, so it turns off the laser and the light, just for visual reference, and just pulls around, and it goes to the next one. And it's like, okay, I'm looking at this. And it's still sending checks to the other, so that in theory, you could have 2 lines going at once. So you could have something charging over here, and then you could have something starting over here. And the computer program will keep track of it, and it's all in open computers. And you can see I used for this setup, I'm going to go ahead and post the stuff below. But yeah, this used a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 5 different redstone IOs, 5 of the adapters, and a whole mess of cables. This cable is there for a specific reason, for a possible later upgrade. And I did it on a tier 3 computer and screen, just for posterity. But yeah, and there's Qgosh, the man himself that requested this job. And yeah, it's a pretty fun, functional program. And I'm going to post it below, and it does seem to work. He did run into an issue where the computer ran out of power. I was scared that I did something wrong, but I'm like, dude, it ran out of power. You did that. So he's fixing that, and that's actually what he's out doing right now, because he had an interesting happen with his Flux network down there. Anyways, so that's going to be about it for this little section of the video. I just kind of wanted to showcase that, because I'm pretty proud of it. I really am. The one thing that I am going to try and automate past this is trying to find a way to get it inserted into here. But Q said he might not have me do that, so I've added the functionality to here. It's ready to activate whenever, but for now, he's just got to activate it using all the stuff from Deep Resonance. But yeah, I'm super proud of that. Alright, so let's move on to our base and see what's going on there. He's setting up an environmental tech quarry over there. Whoa, it's loud. Loudness, it is a thing. We enjoy loudness sometimes. All right. So, if I can get out of the wall. So, what have I been up to here? This is something that I did want to showcase. I did this thing off camera. I wanted to do it on camera, but it honestly got kind of frustrating for me because I was just like, gosh, there's got to be a way. I'm trying to automate glowstone without the use of witches, because that can lag the world, things like that. And so I backtracked. I'm like, okay, I know there's this magical plant called Faint Amaranth from Astral Sorcery. And I know that it gives you a glowstone plus the plant back if you put it in a phytogenic insulator. Only if you get the Flux Phytogrow. So, okay. Gotta flux the phytogrow. Added this. But how do I get the phytogrow? I had, obviously, a fluid transposer here with phytogrow, and then it'll become rich phytogrow whenever it gets sap injected to it. And I get the sap from this sawmill, which is now done, because, oh my goodness, like, there's just nothing left to saw up. And yeah, it's just been a journey getting to this point, but it's produced several thousand glowstone. The only issue I have is that I'm kind of out of space again. And I'm out of space just because not the logs, but the planks filled up so quick. But yeah, I'm gonna find some way to do that to where maybe I void all the extra wood, things like that, because I've got to find a way to do this. I have to. So yeah, that's gonna be a thing that I'll probably work on off camera, because it shouldn't be too bad to upgrade. And I've got enough glowstone that I can function again. And yeah, I'm also working on getting more slag, because I use the slag to come in here and make the regular phytogrow. So yeah, that's the thing. Anyways, so let's see what else has been going around the base. But yeah, 30 episodes. It's been a fun series. I'm enjoying it thus far. And I'm continuing to enjoy it every time I turn around. Type in my super secret password. And this is something I've been working on. This is over here as kind of like the original thing of the power monitoring. But this is a program that if I go ahead and just access, edit Kaz power. This is a program from Non-Sanity. He's a YouTuber that I don't really follow, but I do check him out occasionally because he has put out great content in the past. I still reference a couple of his videos sometimes whenever I'm trying to think of something. And then his code was edited by Jennifer Colley, Ebony, and then it was edited by me. And the main thing that I added was I tweaked a few of the numbers to kind of make it a little better for my use case. And then I also added a built-in redstone trigger. And then the other thing I did was, there was one other thing I did. I don't remember which function it was, but one of the functions I just like cleaned up. I don't know. Biggest thing I did was just add the redstone trigger, which isn't that big a deal, but I'm a part-time programmer just for stuff that's needed, and that's just a habit of mine to kind of keep a paper trail of everyone who's added something or edited the code. Just, it's kind of good form. Anyways, so that's something. This is stuff that I want to add functionality-wise to this screen. So all this functionality will be built into the program, and it's basically only keeping track of one thing. The big thing in the middle of the base. It's basically just keeping track of that, and the way I'm doing that is with... that's a separate computer that's not doing its usual task. But it is running off of this computer, which is running, pretty basic, nothing too big there. And it's just plugged in via an adapter to the, if I can poke my head through here, through the energy pedestal. And that's something that I was trying to figure out for a while, because for some reason I thought that you needed to plug it up to the particle generators, but nope, you hook it up to the energy pedestal things. So yeah, that's what I had to do. Not too bad, but yeah, I've also got a couple other things. So like once the redstone signal gets emitted for the, whatchamacallit, for whenever the redstone reaches a certain point, I think it's, or when the energy reaches a certain point, I believe I have it set to 80%. This will trigger the rainbow in a box, and the rainbow in a box turns on the rainbow generator, which still needs a home of its own, which insanely powers up my base. Like, oh my goodness, it could not get any better. So yeah, that's a thing. And then this computer is... Oh, I was working on something in this computer. I don't remember. Well, there's my network disk. I cannot remember for the life of me what that computer is being used for. But yeah, I've got a few computers around the base running various functions now. Partially for fun, partially because it is actually very functional. So I might as well make use of it. And I've got this kind of testing station where I've been trying out other things like, I'm working on a broadcasting system for the base. So that if I open up net message, I can hit 1 to be a send terminal. And then enter your message. Hello, Kaz Jim here. And the broadcasting system will update. And I'm working on the exact components that I'll need to kind of bare bones it to where I can have a bunch of these monitoring screens across the base. And I can have, you know, message of the day on there just for fun. I can do things like keeping track of the weather, keeping track of, hey, you know, energy core currently at 80% or at, you know, 100%, or for some reason we're at 20%, shut everything down. And that's actually something that I'm working on over. In fact, that's what this computer is doing. It's not done yet, now that I recall. I'm working on kind of an all stop function that basically, if either the ME system gets full or the power system gets below 20%, a couple other conditionals too, it'll just shut down everything in the base. Like, only the workshop will effectively run and the ME system. That's pretty much what'll happen. No quarrying, no mob kills, no any of that stuff, just bare bones. That way it would give me enough time to, I calculated, if just the workshop is running idle and just the ME system, 20% can last like 3 weeks on my system that I have right now. Like 3 or 4 weeks, and that's if I don't turn off other parts of the system, which I would probably do as part of this project. So yeah, that's something I've been definitely working on. I already showed off that we were playing with the coins a little bit, but yeah, so that is something that has been happening. So the next thing that I do want to do is I'm going to be working on some massive storage stuff, because if I make my way over to the applied energistics area, which Q pointed out to me probably should be secured, because it's kind of the brain of my base. One of the brains of my base, anyways. These are cutting it, but they won't cut it for long. So I need to get a lot more drives in here and create a server room, and I either need to create a lot of 64Ks, which is definitely something I'm considering, or I need to work on some sort of creative solution for mass storage. I'm thinking maybe storage caches from thermal expansion, because a max tier one holds like 500k of an item, and that's a lot. So I might do something like that for bulk items, and then for smaller items, like anything under like 50k that I want to have on hand, I might just leave in the system, because I've got the resources, and I really like having a server room, so we're definitely going to have something like that. But yeah, so I need to find a place to put some mass storage stuff, and we will be back once I have determined exactly where it's going to go. Probably somewhere off of this main AE room, but not sold on it. We'll find out shortly. Ooh, pretty. Alright, so I decided that it's just going to be one big happy room. And this room is in kind of an interesting place, because I can expand downward if I get rid of this block of stone. There's nothing really under it. I can also expand this way a bit. That's going to be a very likely place to expand to, because, well, it's an open space. It's very open over here. And on the map, on the map, it wouldn't look as good extending that way. On the map, it actually looks better if I extend this way. So actually, I'm going to preemptively just knock this out of the way here. There we go. Just do something along the lines of that. Yeah. Yeah, and then knock that out. This is all preemptive. I'm not using this area right now, but, you know, for the future. Same with down here. We're just gonna knock a bunch of this out. Just future-proofing. Anyway, so what's going on for real? That goes up to ocean. I don't want that. This is where I want. Okay. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out where I want these server racks to go. So the first one is actually just we're going to expand along this way. Just do something like that. Yeah, that'll work. And then we'll do something in the corner. That looks data center-y. I'd buy that. There we go. So I want this to look nice and filled up. So we're going to do it like this. There we go. That'll also look pretty swell, I think. And then keep doing sets of 2. Because, you know, that's the way I roll. And we're actually, you know, trying to think, is that what I want? Actually, if I do it more like this, then we have a 2 right there. And a 1, and here we go. Let's do it this way. There we go. And this way, there we go. I'd buy that. Yeah, looks like a nice server farm. Alright, so let's diminish that. Just so I can reconfigure where all this stuff is. Hello, KazJim here. And after a lot of configuring, I've finally got an awesome looking server room. It's obviously not kitted out yet, but I'm pretty happy with it. So effectively, it's basically just right where it was, but what's special about it is that it's got all the ME drives in it, and I really love the look of this. Like, this is where all of my stuff is going to live. It's just going to be marvelous. I can't wait. Now, I will have some bulk storage for some exceptionally frequent items, things like, you know, your cobble, your dirt, maybe even iron, I don't know. Whatever things I happen to get a lot of. And those will be in a room under this, is what I'm thinking. Maybe above, it'll be one or the other. I'm still not 1000% decided on it. Anyways, so that's a thing. Now let's just figure out exactly where we want to do this. And I am going to work on these. What's going to happen is I'm actually going to get the paint. And I'm going to have it all going. I need 8 channels total coming from my thing, and I don't want to P2P it. I just want the beauty of 8 channels running through here and just being all completely visible in the floor. It's going to be really awesome, and they're all just going to come to here. The first 2 will split off immediately, but then the 6 will continue to here, and at this point they will diverge to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 along the other wall. So yeah, this is going to be really awesome. Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be great. A lot of that is going to be done off camera though, because a lot of it's literally just going to be me placing like block, 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 all in a row. But I'll be sure to show off the final product, because, well, it's going to be great. I just can't wait. Yeah, and then while I'm figuring that out, I'm also going to think about the bulk storage a little bit, because really, the issue is I just can't seem to figure out where I want it to go. But then it dawned on me. I got this little alcove right here. What if I had an elevator right here that just went down? Say right... I can knock this out, probably. Yep. Say I had an elevator that went down right here. Look at that. I've got a wide open space, just ripe for the taking. Going on down here, let me get a torch, or some lamps rather, to show it off, 'cause it's a little dark down there. here are the lamps I'm using for this area. There we go. Okay, and we're going to place one right here. One right... Actually, no, that was wrong. Wait. Yeah, that's wrong. Had to think about it. Put you here and you here. Awesome. Okay, so here's what's going on. Actually, you know what? For accent, let's just do that. That'll actually look pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so here's what's going on. I've got... It's in this little nook that I mentioned. So, you know, you enter, da-da-da. It's kind of in the back of the storage room, so it's not, like, immediately visible. But, you know, you go through this little corridor right here. And there's going to be an elevator right here. You take that down. And you arrive at the bulk storage room. And this bulk storage room is fed by several, or not several, it's fed by 2 total dense smart cables. And in fact, I'm hooking those up right now. And these dense smart cables are effectively what comes off of the middle. So now I've got the 8, so there's going to be 10 total lines coming from the center there. That is nuts. So I got 10 lines for bulk storage. And see, I haven't done it this way in so long, so I haven't actually sat there and looked back and seen just how much it takes to get a really good, you know, late game ME system takes. And it takes a lot of channels just for the storage. This is what we used to do before the SSDs and whatnot. But yeah, so but it's fun though, and that's why I'm doing it. So let me just finish knocking out a few of these blocks, and yeah, it's gonna be good. So I got 10 channels over here for storage, which means that I'll need to use most of the colors of the rainbow, obviously, because, well, I'm kind of running out of colors otherwise. So how am I gonna choose that? I'm basically just gonna choose at random, if I'm perfectly honest, because I'm not too partial to any of the colors in particular. So I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, well, I have to have lime green. The lime green will probably make a appearance, because most colors actually all colors I pretty much have good access to at this point. It's not really an issue for me at this stage of the game. I don't have all of them made, but I need to get to the point where I'm auto-crafting some dyes anyways, because I'm going to need to color all the cables and whatnot, obviously. So there we go, and so that's for 16, and then the 32 comes from over here. So yeah, this is a design that I just thought of. This isn't like a specialty design or any of that. This is literally just I found a way to get my almost 100 storage caches. Yes, 100 storage caches on one dense little area. And holy cow, that is a scary sound. Scary, scary sound. Okay, so now, yeah, that'll be good to go. And I am going to seal this up. There's going to be glass right here. And then I'm going to seal these up in the cable covers. So yeah, that's going to look really, really slick. And just to demonstrate, let me go ahead and put the lab blocks away. And then I need cable anchors. 4 of those. And then, what's that? White concrete? Yeah, I don't need that. It's bad news bears. I'm going to need a fair amount of these. I'm just going to make 64. Or 60, because I ran out. Let's see what kind of glass we've got. For glass, I've got a lot of options, actually. We're going to go with quite clear glass, because I haven't used that a whole lot. And then, just for fun, we'll hook up a few of the caches as well. These won't be visible yet, because I haven't run the cables over, but this will give a pretty good idea, pretty good depiction of what it is I am going for. Oh yeah, that's going to look actually kind of neat. I like the fact that kind of turns into bricks right there. It makes it different in a good way. I'm actually pleased with that. I would like to say that I planned that, but I did not. So yeah, happy accident. Okay, so yeah, that's looking good. And then let's just pop this all out. Pop you there. And then And the reason why I'm going to have glass right here is because I want to kind of showcase the cabling, because there's going to be a lot of cabling right there, and it's going to look really cool because it's all going to be lit up. Oh, I can't wait. I really can't wait. It's just going to be the coolest thing I've done in a long time. But anyway, so I'm going to keep doing this off camera. Not too much more to report after that, except I did promise to show off how this is going to look. So just think something like, you know, I've got this kind of double stacked. So you got one right there. You got another right here. Yeah, and then I'm going to make sure that they're all resonant. So yeah, now you can kind of get the idea. And then to get a second layer, because this is only getting me 64, I need to add a couple more rows to get all the ones I want. So what I'm probably going to do is, I want to say push out one more. And that'll be pretty easy to do, but that'll get me to 11. But I'm going to see if I can make do with just these two. Make some hard decisions about what needs to be put in to bulk storage or not. Anyway, so yeah, as I do this off camera, I'm going to go ahead and close out. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like. If you have something to say, something to comment on regarding the project or any of the other projects I've been doing, be sure to, you know, write something in the comments. I try to respond to everything. Yeah, and thank you so much for taking time and watching this episode 30. Can't believe I made it this far into this series. So yeah, we will be catching you next time. And this is Kazjum signing out. See ya!